Hi there. Today in this activity, we are going to look at the frequency response of a driven oscillator with damping. We'll be using the acoustic equivalent of a spring mass damper system, namely a Helmholtz resonator. For my resonator, I have this fun Star Wars whiskey decanter. This is the acoustic equivalent of a spring mass damper system, where the mass in the neck of the resonator acts as the inertial mass for the oscillation. The restoring force is provided by the compression and expansion of the gas in the main chamber of the resonator. Damping will be provided by some cotton that we'll put in the neck of the bottle, and the driving force will come from this Bluetooth speaker placed near the opening of the resonator. So let's take a look at this setup and the measurement setup that I used for this activity. On the left here, we can see a PC running a data capture software that measures the sound pressure level of the microphone based upon the microphone sensitivity. Beside it, we have the resonator with the microphone being driven by the Bluetooth speaker. The Bluetooth speaker was being driven by a function generator app on an iPhone that generated frequency steps in steps of 10 hertz from 100 hertz below the natural frequency of the resonator to 100 hertz above. The natural frequency of this system was determined simply by blowing at the neck and measuring with the microphone in the cavity the frequency response. Here we can see the frequency response of the system with different amounts of damping all on one plot, where the vertical axis is the amplitude response in millivolts back calculated from the measured sound pressure level from the measurement software, where along the horizontal axis is the driven frequency coming from the Bluetooth speaker. The different levels of damping correspond to the portion of the cotton ball that was placed into the neck of the resonator. As you can see, the undamped has the strongest response, specifically around 226 hertz. This is the natural frequency of the system that was measured by just blowing on the neck of the bottle. You can see that it has a very sharp peak right near the resonance frequency of the system. As soon as damping is added to the system, you can see that it drops significantly. One of the things you can notice too is that as the amount of damping is increased, specifically for the 0.125 damping, you can see that the peak of that starts to move to the left down the horizontal axis. This is an indicator that the damped natural frequency of the system is less than the undamped natural frequency of the system. If I had been able to put even less cotton in the neck of the bottle, we could see a plot that would have the damped natural frequency somewhere in here, where the peak is probably around 40 to 50. With some fine tuning of the amount of damping being placed in here, we could have a very nice plot of decreasing frequencies, natural frequencies, damped and undamped natural frequencies, as well as amplitude of the frequency response. At this point, I'm pretty much done editing my video, but I wanted to say one more thing about how this is a really great activity to demonstrate how the conceptual spring mass damper system we do in our homework problems can really be applied to a real-life acoustic scenario, where when we are driving this acoustic system near its resonant frequencies, we get huge response values. In fact, my microphone that I had dangling in the glass was peaking all the time while I was running near my natural frequencies. But by adding just a tiny bit of cotton, I had a hard time getting a small enough amount of cotton to sit in the top of the neck of the bottle that it reduces that response significantly. And this is a great application or a great way to look at how we can apply these concepts to real life situations and understand how they affect acoustic or vibration responses of a system.